I had a friend from college, let's just call him Alex. One day I got a call from him and he asked me if I could meet him. It was about his wife and he wanted me to come to the hospital. His wife, MIA, was in a coma for the last 5-ish years for some unknown reason. It had been 2 years since I last visited her. I reached the hospital and saw Mia's parents and younger brother sitting outside her room and Alex's father was walking in the hallway. Not knowing what to think, I went inside her room and saw Mia's mother sitting holding Mia's hand. Alex's brother stood leaning on the corner and Alex was standing near Mia's bed. MIA was lying on the bed having tubes still attached to her wrist and she was, surprisingly, awake. That's amazing, congratulations man. I cheered Alex and then turned to MIA. How are you feeling, MIA? Alex and MIA smiled, but I could tell something was off. The room felt awfully serious and quiet. Alex asked his brother and mother-in-law to leave the room and asked me to sit. MIA got up and sat on the bed, and what the couple told me for the next hour, I could not believe my ears. Before we go there, I should mention something about me first. See, I was always interested in the paranormal. During college time, I always get people to talk about any ghost stories they have from their village, recommend cool movies, and discuss various podcasts about this stuff. Alex shared the same interest as mine and even went to a few, our own, ghost adventures. But what MIA told me was scariest of them all. It had been 4 days since MIA broke out from coma. On the day she woke up, everything was going as routine and suddenly the heart rate monitoring device started beeping. Her heart was beating way above normal rate. Her body started trembling and sweating heavily. She tried very hard to scream but she could not. She described it like breaking out of sleep paralysis. After struggling, she finally let out a screech. The screech was so primal, the whole hospital staff ran towards her ward to see what happened. After a few such screeches, she crouched on her bed and began crying heavily. Her eyes were pouring. She cried for hours before Alex could reach the hospital. I was so happy knowing MIA woke up. Alex recollects, when I reached hospital she saw me and jumped on me like a child and held me tight. She told me again and again to not leave her alone. The crying did not stop even after Alex called her parents. She kept repeating, "Don't leave me alone." Seeing the situation, doctors gave her sedatives and let her rest for a few hours. When she woke up, while still sobbing, she was calm. And what she told them next left them terrified. The parents immediately called the family priest, but Alex stopped them and told them to wait some time before MIA fully recovers physically, even though in the back of his mind he knew he will need them later on. Psychiatrists visited 3 times a day and monitored her mental health. Whatever the case, MIA did not let anyone leave her alone in the room, and I was about to know why. For the past 4 years her voice began shaking. I became hound of the death, the filth herself. I tore she gagged a bit. I tormented families, made their lives hell, and when they were at their weakest, I took their life. My throat dried up, chill went through my spine, I could feel blood pumping through the back of my neck, my legs started trembling. I swallowed my saliva and clutched my thighs, sort of bracing myself for horror that was coming. I was just laying on my bed, scrolling through memes. It was a bright day outside and Alex was at his office as usual. Suddenly thunder cracked outside and in no time clouds took over the sky. It started pouring and I couldn't hold my excitement. I love rain, especially how everything just goes dark and the air cools down. I was stretching my limbs and shuffling on my bed as the doorbell rang. I left the bed and as soon as I crossed my bedroom door, a jolting pain ran through my leg below the knee. I almost fell. Now when I think of it, something was definitely stopping me from reaching the door. I reached the door and as I touched the door knob, it was like someone shot me in back of my head. I went dizzy. But here is the thing, my body was moving. My hand reached and opened the door. No one was there. I closed the door and sat down on the sofa. Again my vision was blurry but my body was moving swiftly. I felt like a child being carried by their parents from both hands. My head was spinning. Suddenly my eyes caught something. There was a tall dark figure standing in the middle of the living room. Its head was almost touching the ceiling and it had something in its hands. It stood calm, it was waiting for something. But before I could do anything, another sharp pain ran through my head and everything went black. Her eyes became teary, and after that she squealed, unable to speak. Alex came and hugged her and patted her back. I offered some water. After taking a sip she continued, "When I opened my eyes, I was still sitting in my house, on the same sofa, but everything was on fire. A fire so red it looked like blood and so bright it was blinding. That figure was still standing in the middle, but now I could see it clearly. Its eyes were bulging out. Its teeth were pointy and too large to keep in the mouth. Its face was like blue velvet. It was covered in a burnt black robe from neck to toe. He had no expression, and I did not want him to show any. He saw that I was awake and slowly approached me. It stood in front of me and started mumbling something. I was shocked seeing all this and did not move a limb. From there I could see its blood-red lips sliding up and down on its teeth. After a while it went silent and looked at the door. The house was still burning in those red flames. Suddenly it clutched my hair and lifted me. I was hanging. In pain I screamed. It roared, a roar so powerful I could feel my lungs shaking. My ears went deaf for a moment. My scalp started to bleed. In its growly voice it spoke, "Now you serve me," and punched its hand through my chest. I could feel its hand moving in my chest, tearing muscle tissues. He grabbed my heart and put it somewhere inside his robes and threw me on the floor. My whole body fell against the burning floor. I could feel my skin sizzling as it touched the floor. I screamed so loud my throat hurt. It came near me and took out a chain. It tied a chain to my neck and dragged me out of the house. I could not believe what I was hearing. I looked at Alex. "Your house burned down." "About that?" He replied, "No, my house did not burn down." MIA took a deep breath. Alex continued, "In fact, we found MIA sitting on the sofa, unconscious. That means it could be just a nightmare." "Right." I had no idea what to believe. Yes, it could. Alex's brother replied, "But there's also this thing." He looked at Alex, seeking approval. Alex nodded. He continued, "You remember, MIA mentioned that people died. Well, those people did die. How do we know that? Because that's what I have been doing for the past 2 days. That doesn't mean she did it. I killed those people." MIA screamed, "I did way worse than just kill them." She started crying. The room went silent. To be continued.